Hello, my name is Corey and I would like to welcome you back to the Claytor House. If you are anything like me this year, you have dropped the ball on your Christmas shopping. Last year I had everything planned, ordered, wrapped, all good before the end of October. This year I have one gift and have not even thought about the rest. So I'm a little behind, and if you are in the same boat, I've rounded up some budget-friendly, last-minute Christmas gift ideas that you can order today and have on your doorstep before Christmas. I'm keeping it simple, thoughtful, and home-friendly because that is what I am all about. Now, as you know, I like to yap. So I've broken this down into multiple sections to make it easy for you to jump around and find what you're looking for. The first being standalone gifts. They're just a single item that are perfect as is, they're thoughtful, and they are good to go. The second being more like experience-based gift baskets that have several smaller items that could be standalone gifts, but more so they come together to create an experience for just one person. It could be for a couple or even for a family as a whole. And then I also have some miscellaneous gifts that would be good for like stocking stuffers, if you have like a Secret Santa gift exchange or a white elephant situation, or just like an extra gift on hand, that's good to go for any occasion. The timestamps are below and I'll list them right here if you're short on time and want to jump to something specific. Also, anything that I mention throughout the video will be linked in the description below as well to keep it super easy for you to find. I personally find that adults are so hard to shop for. Most of the time, if somebody wants something, they just go out and get it for themselves, or it's hard to balance something that's like functional and will be helpful with things that they like. I don't know. I just think adults are difficult to get gifts for. So I tried to keep that in mind and keep it thoughtful as I was putting this together. I mean, I guess you could get some of these gifts for kids, but like kids aren't gonna want like a coffee table book or anything, you know what I mean? Which leads me into the first item, which would be a coffee table book, but more specifically putting some thought into it and getting a coffee table book on a subject that the gift receiver is into. To provide a few examples for you, if you have someone who is a dog lover, there are so many good coffee table books on dogs specifically. The first one being Resident Dog by Nicole England. And this is great for somebody who loves architecture or design and dogs because it's all about beautiful homes and then the dogs that live there. And I think there's 2, maybe 3 volumes now. So Resident Dog's a good one. Finding Home, Shelter Dogs and Their Stories by Trere Scott is a great one. And it's one that I think is really special because as the name suggests, it's all about shelter dogs. And then 2 with some great photography of some different breeds of dogs are Good Dog by Randall Ford and Dogs by Tim Flatch. If you have a friend that's into gardening, The Kinfolk Garden by John Burns is great. Honestly, just look up any of the Kinfolk books. They have them on a lot of different topics. They even have an entrepreneur one, and I think all of those books are great. So I would recommend any of the Kinfolk books, but also in the gardening niche would be Terrain by Greg Lemcole or Terrain, the Houseplant book by Melissa Lowry. If you have someone that's into hosting, Natural Tables by Shelley Pomeroy is a good one. Savor by Kimberly Stevens, or The Gift of Gathering by Brie Doucette. Those would all be some great ones for hosting. If someone is drawn to like a particular lifestyle or a particular destination, I think a coffee table book regarding that could be really nice. For example, there's Joy by Ajiri Aki. That's all about like Parisian living. You have This Is Home by Natalie Walton. That's all about simple living and like paring things back and like living an authentic life. That's one of the first coffee table books I got for myself. And then if somebody's like really drawn to like a certain destination, you could get them a book regarding that destination. They have awesome coffee table books on places like Yellowstone, New York City, London, all the big cities, any of the national parks, any place that someone's drawn to, you could get them a coffee table book from there to remind them of their travels. And then my personal favorite category of coffee table books are home decor books. My top favorites being either of Amber Lewis's books, Made for Living or Call It Home. They're fantastic. They are my absolute favorite books just in general that I own. They're more on like the California, organic, modern, relaxed living style, while more of like an East Coast, eclectic, folk Americana style would be any of Lauren Leese's books. Particularly Down to Earth and Feels Like Home are really good. She has a new one called Beach Life or Beach Living that I haven't read, but I'm sure it's amazing because all three of her other books are amazing. The Art of Home by Shay McGee I think is great for anybody who wants like a guide of sorts. She offers a lot of helpful resources and breaks interior design down really well that I think could be really beneficial. And that one's a nice big book too, so it's an awesome size to layer with some other books. Another one that I really like is Athena Calderon's Live Beautiful. It's really great because it shows a lot of different homes done by different designers and different styles. And if you have somebody that you're giving a gift to that likes interior design and cooking, you could kind of get them a little bundle because Athena Calderon also has a cookbook called Cook Beautiful. So you could get them Live Beautiful and Cook Beautiful as a little set if you wanted to give them more than one gift. And that brings me to my next category of like a standalone gift, which would be cookbooks. Especially for somebody who likes to cook, I think a cookbook is a great choice for a gift. Like I mentioned, Cook Beautiful is a great one. I personally love Half Baked Harvest by Tegan Gerard. It is my most used cookbook. I've made the most recipes out of that one than any of my other ones, and every single one of them has been so easy to follow and turned out amazing. And it's a super affordable book too that I think any home cook would be more than happy to receive. And then also a classic, any of the Magnolia Table cookbooks would be a really good option. I would personally recommend volumes 1 or 2 over volume 3 just because the spines on volumes 1 and 2, one is black and one is white, whereas volume 3 is green. So just so you don't throw off someone's like color scheme in their kitchen, volume 3 would be a pop of color. So I maybe wouldn't recommend that one as a gift. I mean, I personally gifted it to someone last year, but that's because I knew they already had 1 and 2. And also the binding on volume 3 is not as sturdy as the binding on volumes 1 and 2. So if someone's going to be using it like really often, I would be nervous about it kind of falling apart. I mean, it's a great book with great recipes, but of the 3 Magnolia Table books, I use volume 1 the most. Every single one of the recipes I've tried has been amazing. I go to that one more than either of the other 2 volumes, and I think Magnolia Table volume 1 is my second most used cookbook. And also the spine of it is black, so in the kitchen where things get dirty, I wouldn't worry about that getting as dirty. If that's something that someone worries about, I think it would be easier to keep that one in good condition. And then this next gift idea is a little niche, but if you know a little bit about my background, I grew up dancing, so I have burned through a lot of socks. Hear me out. I know that like receiving socks as a gift is not the most exciting things. I mean, it's exciting to me because I love socks, but I've burned through so many socks, and I recommend getting dance socks as a gift for everyday wear for somebody that you know that loves socks because they're built for dancing and moving in. They're usually super breathable, so like if somebody struggles with like stinky feet, they let your feet breathe. They're meant to be danced in, and you turn in them, and you move a lot in them, so they see a lot of wear and tear. So they're built to last and don't get holes in them as easily. I personally hate when socks have seams that like don't stay straight, whereas like dance socks are meant to stay on your feet while you're on stage dancing or in class or whatever, so you don't have to mess with them. So like they stay in place, and oftentimes they don't have those like weird, awkward seams that irritate your toes. So kind of a weird one, but I would highly recommend some dance socks for anyone that you know that loves to lounge around the house in socks and slippers and that type of thing. And then another like home type item would be a loungewear set. And I think this could be great for both the men and women in your life. Now, this one you have to be a little bit careful with. I don't typically like getting people clothes as a gift, so I would recommend this one only for people that you're like super close to, you know their size, you know the colors that they like. If they have like sensory issues, you know what those are. So definitely use some discernment with this one. But I think a loungewear set is a great option. You can get them monochrome, you can get wide leg, a cinched cuff at the bottom, you can get long sleeve, short sleeve, hooded, crew neck, quarter zip. They have so many options. And I personally love loungewear. However, most of mine is like, I've had a t-shirt that I've just worn for so many years that it like starts to get holes in it or has stains or whatever, and that becomes like my loungewear, and then I just like feel like a slob around my house. So I would love to get a nice loungewear set, as long as it meets my very picky standards, but they're great. I think it's really easy to find like a set for anybody and their preferences, as long as you know them pretty well. I think you could get away with that one. And you could pair it with the dancewear socks that I mentioned. Another one that I would be careful with, but I think could be a place where you could be really thoughtful, is with a throw blanket. Now, I personally do not love, as somebody who loves home decor, I don't like to receive it as a gift, which sounds kind of weird, but like when you're into design and into home decor, as you know, you have a very specific image in your mind of how you want things to look and come together. And if somebody gets you something that doesn't fit into that, like for your home, it's really hard to like, because you're grateful for the gift, but like it doesn't fit. So like it's something that you don't, while it was thoughtful and much appreciated, home decor is not always the easiest thing to be receptive to as the gift receiver. So I think if someone is a dog owner or a parent or something, they may not be willing to get themselves like the nice blankets, like the nice knitted ones. I personally don't ever buy knitted blankets. They're my favorite, but I'm always afraid my dog's claws are gonna like snag them. So I don't ever want to purchase them. So I think something like that, like a nice knitted or just like a pretty decorative blanket in a neutral color. I wouldn't even go for like anything patterned or anything, just like a neutral color or a color that matches their home in a nice luxurious fabric, and not the micro velour, not the faux fur. They're super comfortable, but they're ugly. Don't give that to somebody. Make it something like nice that they wouldn't get themselves, like a knitted blanket or something like that. Moving away from standalone gifts, I think an experience-centered gift basket is an awesome idea. As an interior designer, I'm always thinking about how people live in their homes and how they're going to experience something when I'm picking furniture, picking up the sheen of a paint or something like that. Like I'm thinking of how people live. So I personally really like to put together gift baskets to create an experience for somebody. And this one, although it can get a little bit pricier than a standalone gift, it's often something you can gift to a couple. Like you can create a date night experience, or you can gift a basket like this to a family and create a family experience or something like that. You know, when you go to like a fundraiser event or something and they auction off like the movie night basket or the hot chocolate basket or whatever, it's kind of like that same idea. But the way that I like to do them is more in like a, instead of a one-time use type thing, I like to mix consumable items with items that could be a standalone gift of their own. For example, somebody who likes to cook, like we talked about earlier, instead of getting just a cookbook, you could go to a thrift store or an antique store, pick up just a cheap basket, or Amazon has some great baskets as well if you're short on time, but there's plenty of them out there in the world that you could thrift to keep your budget down even more. You could put a cookbook in it. You could put a set of like nice wooden utensils, like spatula and spoons and like cooking utensils, but I would go with like some nice wooden ones. You could do a pair of wine glasses. You could buy them new. You could buy them from the dollar store. The dollar store has some wine glasses that are super affordable and they're made of glass. You could thrift some really unique ones. Like you don't have to get like super crazy wine glasses. You just get 2 wine glasses, put it in the basket, do a hand towel or two. You could throw an apron in there. You, with your wine glasses, throw in a nice cheap bottle of wine, like go to Aldi or something, get a bottle of wine. You could add in some non-perishable items like a nice bottle of olive oil, some dried pasta in some nice packaging, a jar of like marinated feta cheese, like something like that. Like just some non-perishable food items, kind of for like a jump start for a date night where a couple can cook together, share a bottle of wine, try a new recipe. And you could even look through the cookbook and find a recipe and get some non-perishable items for that particular recipe. And this is one too, you could go as extravagant or as simple as you want to create this experience. You could do as simple as getting like a little $3 basket from the thrift store, getting a $15 cookbook, getting 2 wine glasses from the thrift store. So say you spend $5 total on 2 wine glasses in the basket, 15 on the cookbook, and then you could get a $5 to $10 bottle of wine from Walmart or Aldi and include it in there. You could look up like wine pairings and find a recipe in the book that you think they would like, bookmark it, and get a wine that would pair nice with that meal. And then you just created a little date night experience and you spent 25, 30 bucks. Super easy, super simple, and very thoughtful for a nice couple's date night. Another like experience like this that I think could be really nice is for someone who's maybe more of a homebody and likes to just hang out at home. You could get them a nice loungewear set, a nice pair of socks. You could throw a candle in there, being mindful of the type of wax that's used in case they have pets or allergies or something like that. You could put in some nice bath salts. My personal favorite bath salt that I think is so relaxing is the Village Naturals Therapy Eucalyptus Mint. It is amazing. And then in that same basket, you could include a bottle of wine. You could throw in a coffee table book in that, or some kind of book on a subject you know someone would like. You're creating a little self-care, stay-at-home night for someone. One of my best friends is a mom of 4, and this would be something I would definitely love to do for her. And if you wanted to take it a step further, you could get a gift card to like Starbucks or like a local coffee shop. Always do local if you can. Just be mindful of their hours. Get like a little $10 to $15 gift card. Find a light show, like a Christmas light display show that you can drive through. Find a Christmas themed event like that. Write down the address on a sticky note on the gift card and include it in the basket with a note for dad saying, take the kids out for tonight. My friend's husband is super great and would definitely allow her to have that time to herself. But if you wanted to go the extra mile, you could include that. Send him and the kids out for an experience with hot chocolate and a little Christmas event while your friend or family member is at home enjoying their self-care night. I think that would be a special one, especially for like a stay-at-home mom or somebody who's around their kids all the time and maybe needs a little bit of a break. Another idea like this you could do is for somebody who loves to host. Doing like a hosting decor book, or again, a cookbook would be great for this. Instead of doing like cooking utensils, you could do some serving utensils. Do a nice glass or ceramic serving bowl. Again, just keeping it neutral and making sure it's something that would fit into any design style or any color palette. You could include some little jars of different like jams or spreads. You could throw in a nice set of silverware or flatware of some type, just making sure that there's enough sets for each one of their table settings that's maybe a little bit more decorative or special, or something that they could bust out just for hosting. You could do some other type of serveware, even like a nice set of napkins or even like napkin rings, just something that somebody really isn't gonna like splurge on for themselves, but would just elevate their hosting and make that experience feel so much better for them. And also, if your friend loves hosting and you give a gift like that, more than likely you're gonna benefit from your own gift when they cook you a nice meal. So there's a win-win right there. And then just some additional like miscellaneous ideas that I think would be great for stocking stuffers or like a secret Santa gift or something. And these are things that I think could make anybody's life easier, but are not things that I think they would get for themselves. One being a pill shaver, which I'm normally not about like the little gadgets like the milk frother things and the little matcha whisk and all of those things. I don't always love those as gifts because not everybody's going to use those. But if you have somebody that you know has a lot of knitted items, or they have like a linen sofa or something like that, getting a little handheld pill shaver I think is a great gift. I think one of the electric lighters that you can recharge is an awesome gift because they're so fun to use, first of all, but also you save somebody from having to like refill lighters or going out and buying new lighters if they're always lighting their candles and stuff. They're kind of a pain in the butt to refill. That's an extra thing you have to keep on hand, is the extra fluid, or the easiest thing to do is just throw them away and buy a new lighter, but that's not great for the planet. So I think an electric lighter is a great gift that somebody is likely not going to get for themselves. Another one that I think is a great gift is like stirring spoons. So spoons that are specifically for stirring your coffee or your tea, or even a cocktail if your friend likes cocktails. Just getting some little stirring spoons specifically for that. I don't know about you, but I'll go through 2 cups of coffee in the morning. My husband will go through 2 cups of coffee. We'll use a new spoon every time if we're not making them at the same time, or they get put in the dishwasher or whatever. It's very easy for me to go through 4 spoons in the morning and then not have any for dinner time. So receiving a set of spoons specifically for stirring my coffee would be something that I normally would not. I mean, I'm a little crazy, so I probably would get that for myself. But in general, most people are not going to get something like that for themselves, but it would be super helpful, make their daily life easier. They're starting off their day with some nice, beautiful coffee stirring spoons every day. You're improving their daily life, and that could be like $4. Like that could be something super budget friendly and easy as just like a little miscellaneous gift. Another thing that somebody might not think to get for themselves, and this one, again, use some discernment for, maybe only have this as like a white elephant gift exchange, or like if you're married and you do stockings with your kids, like maybe reserve this one for that. But like these little like scent catcher things, they work super well at absorbing odors and helping your house smell really nice without releasing like the phthalates and whatever, all the endocrine disruptors that are sometimes in wall plugins and candles and things like that are used to make our house smell better, that aren't always great for our health. Instead, getting something like this that absorbs the bad odors and just helping to maintain a nice, clean, fresh scent in your house, I think could be nice. Again, like I said, use discernment with this one. You don't want to insinuate that somebody's house stinks. That's not a very nice gift. But if it's somebody that you know, like I have 3 dogs. I'm constantly fighting the battle of like my house not smelling like dog all the time. So something like this, if my husband were, not that we do stockings, but if we did stockings and he were to put something like that in my stocking, I would be over the moon. That would be a great gift for me personally. So just use some discernment with that one. Another idea under this category would be like a set of coasters. Again, being careful of the home items and getting something that is more neutral, that's gonna fit in anyone's home design. Neutral color, neutral material, nothing super patterned. You could go for a nice wood option, different types of stone. You do like a marble coaster set or something. Usually you can get a set of like 4 to 6 coasters for under $20. And I think that could be a really nice just in case gift to have on hand. There's so many different options out there for coasters. Even if you wanted to make it more personal and get something more specific, I think you could. I just, in general, with home stuff, I think it's better to keep it a little bit more generic, not to like mess up someone's whole vision for their house. And I think the standalone gift that I mentioned earlier about a blanket is a good one that could fall in this category too. Again, keeping it neutral, keeping it something that could fit into any style, and doing a nice blanket that is pretty and decorative that someone might not get for themselves. And those are my suggestions. I hope this was helpful for any type of gift giving, but especially if you're in the pickle that I'm in right now. Again, the links are down in the description if you need them. Let me know what idea was your favorite, or like if you were to put together an experience-based gift basket, let me know what you would put together. I'd love some other ideas in that category because those are my favorite types of gifts to give. If you liked this video or you did find it helpful, I hope you'll consider giving me a thumbs up. If you're not subscribed and you're interested in home, lifestyle, DIY related content, I hope you'll consider subscribing. And until next time, I'm wishing you all my best. The pattern throw blankets, that'll be like Bob's Burgers throw blanket, or like the tortilla shaped blanket, and they'll get it for like a joke gift for somebody. While I understand a gift like that, I personally will be stopping at Goodwill on my way home to drop that off because I don't want that. Never mind, I'm gonna cut that. That makes me sound like a